Hello Tubesters, it's Gav. Welcome to another one of my videos. We're going to have a look at some more 2mm ancient Britons, but they could be any I suppose ancient Gauls, Germanics, you know, you name it really. But these are ancient Britons, and I can't for the life of me remember what the companies. I get them through war bases anyway. Had to, long story made longer, I had to get some bases, and I always get them from war bases, and I had to get them for the client whose commission I'm painting at the moment, because I totally run out. I thought to myself, I'll get myself a warming. I'll get myself just another lot of these. They come with a, well, you don't have to have the base, but you can buy the base alongside them, and that's what I do. They're metal, and it takes it can be a bit how I do it anyway. I mean, you could just, you know, dry brush and whatever, but I do all the little dots. So I do all the different hair colours. Yes, I know where, but and helmets with different metallics, just do a big mix. The last ones I did, I put some colours through there's some bits that are wider than others, and I left, all it is I left the black primer showing through. This was the unit I did before. They all come with mixed, you know, different, you can buy them as groups with different shapes of many thousands, if that makes sense. Well, what I did with there is I added some colours in amongst, you know, as if like you can just see flashes of colour, maybe what people wearing, or shields or whatever. I didn't do it on that one. I'm not sure which one I like the best yet. I didn't think that was that successful, but it does add some colour, more colour to the thing. So I might actually do that with those before I put the varnish on. So yeah, I just put some of that from Woodland Scenics, you know, it's the fine turf, I think they call it, and I've got some that they use for sticking on their armature trees, and I just use those as trees, just to, you know, give again a little scale. I've gone a bit too heavy on some of this because I was using some thicker PVA that goes off quicker. It was a bit thicker probably in places than it should have been, as in up to the figures. Some cork again, just painted up as rocks. Again, just to rise things above the figures, if that makes sense, and that again makes my opinion, just puts the figures into more size contrast and that. On this one as well, I've got some pre-mixed. I mixed some cuttlefish in with some sand, and I use that on a lot of bases, and I did it with those, but I just thought they were a bit too chunky really. So this time I just did the white sand on top of PVA, and just made these three big, as if they're big rocks sticking up, you know, and just left it at that, because looking down on it, you know, you wouldn't see that maybe the rocks as chunky as these other ones on the other stand. And you can always break up some cork and make it smaller if you wanted to, or put some finer stuff in with your sand. Just painted the outside black. I mean, I have to put them on the bottle tops for now, and these ones have been on the bottle tops ever since I did them. The other ones, I need to take those off. I've got to find a box to put them in, but I wanted to put some magnetising stuff underneath first. But I think they're really effective. I like this scale for this type of thing. The whole idea was, you know, is it Test of Honour? I can't blooming remember now. No, it's not Test of Honour, that's a samurai game, isn't it? I can't remember. But you know, the idea is you can have many thousands, as often was in the ancient world, you know, on a fairly small area to game. And obviously and I think it goes on, rather than measurements on with a ruler, it goes on, you know, the little dots, you know, and you can, well, anyway, I'll get the rules when I buy some more of these. So I will buy a few more rather than just have the odd one. I just picked one up at a time, although I bought some chariots obviously with the last one. They sell terrain as well. I think it's 3D printed. I'm not sure. I've ended up just making, in a fit of why not do some of my own. So I made a little Iron Age village. Not too big, and it is on cardboard, so I wasn't sure how it would flex in that. But Iron Age villages in the UK, they had a lot of these boundaries around it, and it wasn't so much a defensive wall or anything. It's more just to keep livestock in, out. Usually a couple of gates just to denote the village. Pens. I mean, Time Team's your friend here. After many years of watching Time Team, they had enclosures again, made up of just mounded up, sometimes with homemade fences, wattle fences and stuff, wicker fences even. The round houses themselves should really have more of a pointy roof, but I was just doing it on the cuff really, and I found some pie foil and some blue foam and just bodged them. I was just thinking, looking down, I mean, they don't look too bad. Whether they would have had more grass around, I've left it free, just a bit of difference. Again, a couple of 3 trees on there. The sheep, that's solder wire that's just been cut off in little chunks, and then I just painted them. I actually made sure I put, I've got fairly liquid super glue rather than priming them, because I put them on after the fact. I just put the super glue over the top of all the wire just to give the paint something to catch on really, and then put some grey and then a couple of white stripes, and then I thought, no, you know what, they still just look like bits of solder wire painted white. So I painted the things you do, painted the head of the sheep black, because they are supposed to be sheep, by the way, and there's a little black dot on the end of each one. And then I thought, I was very pleased with myself. I thought, I don't want to put too much livestock, I'll just put them in a couple of pens here, because they'd have had others roaming around, I'm sure. And then I thought to myself, you know what, these villages, they really need some people. So out came the solder wire again. Instead of lying them on the ground, I stood them up, and then I just painted them. You can't really see particularly well. I don't want to get too close because you'll just see it's painted solder wire. But I put some colours that I'd been painting the shields, not shield, well, again, those that you see, you can say that's their shields, you can say it's their bodies, it's up to you. I mean, they're designed as shields, I think. And yeah, I did what I did with the others, the front rank. Obviously, these are just a few figures, but I put a little flesh tone on the top, left a bit of black around to denote it, painted like red there and yellow there, just to show that they are people. So we've got one chap straddle, it's definitely not Asterix's village, is it really? But but we've got a guy walking here, and we've got a couple of guys talking here, 3 guys talking or walking about there. So yeah, and I just did them slightly different, smaller and bigger huts, round houses. So and then again, just a bit of bent over wire, aluminium wire for gate demarcation, whatever you want to call it. But I mean, that's on some fairly thick, like, mounting card, and it's stood up well to the glue and that. I did think it would all warp, and it doesn't look like it has, I hope. So yeah, that's our Iron Age village. Might make a couple of them at some stage. And then I thought, oh, why not have a go at Roman villa? Now, Roman villas, again, thank you, Time Team, in the UK, they'd start off, a lot of them were actually owned by Britons that had been Romanised. They wanted to, they used to see what the Romans had got, and they wanted the same. And they'd start off with maybe a 1-storey villa, then they'd add another one on, and these are all like servants' quarters along here, and different workshops and bits and pieces, and there'd be granaries and stuff on I mean, these were quite wealthy people by then, and they'd often orientate them to like look up a valley and things for the views. Again, thank you, Time Team. And then they would knock them down, like, maybe the son would inherit it, he'd be a bit more wealthy, so he would knock the walls down, knock all the servants' quarters down, and maybe build 1 wing or 2 wings. This portico, whatever I don't know what you call it. Sometimes they'd be further out, and they'd actually be walking all the way underneath them, and they'd go round but I just did that. It was just literally on the spur of the moment. I got some of that card, which weren't the best to put down on this side really, but yeah, this is actually on a 40 by 40 base. It's just because I had one and I just fancied building a little thing. The blue foam, again, you're probably best if you've got well, you can get away with the blue foam, it's just a bit rough, but you know, maybe a bit of bolster if you've got that, which I didn't. But I did obviously a bit of offcuts from those trees that you saw. I did just paint that on, and I didn't do a great job with I thought, right, well, this is crushed stone, gravel, whatever you want to call it, and I just painted. So it was really a spur of the moment thing. But again, looking down, you've got to understand that, you know, you're looking down at you know, like 2mm. It's all designed to be small scale stuff, you know. Let's put them in there just to, you know, that's what you're going for, if that makes sense. So if it looks a bit rough, it's not. It's mainly just to, again, it's you're stood away from it. You don't really see that. You mainly see colours and shapes, if that makes sense. I might add a bit of brighter colour to the grass on that as well. But again, it was just off the cuff. I haven't bothered. A lot of the times I'll paint the trees, or you know, dab some paint on, because they've all been white glued, and I might paint the trees. But again, you're looking down at stuff. You know, I've got several colours of these woodland scenic bits that are supposed to be bushes, but as I say, they make good trees, so you just get by with that really. I think I did paint the other ones. I'm looking at the ones I've just put on just now, like these are painted, the trees, and these aren't. I don't know if I'd paint the trees again. I'm quite happy with those really. So thank you very much. Again, a bit off tangent. I've been doing Vietnam lately, but I do like that time period along with several others, and I just thought, no, I'll when I order these bases, I'll order me another. I think they're about £3. I've got a big, you know, be careful because I'm notoriously can't remember a damn thing, but you know, I think they're about £3.40, £4, I think for you know, one of these bases. And as I say, you can pick the metal people, the different because they're all in shapes. That one has got one missing, not because it looked nice to have three, just because I'd knocked it off to one side unpainted before I primed them all, and didn't realise it was there till later. So which is fair enough. I've got a spare shape to put on some of the others when I want to. But yeah, they'll be coming to a Battle of Watling Street near you at some stage. I'll probably need another couple of bases. I don't know, chariots, whatever. I've got those chariots already. I don't know what I'll do next, but and then obviously the Romans will be a lot easier to paint, just because you're really just putting a dab, a couple of, you know, you might want to put a silver dab I find that the silver and the bright gold just shine up better. I mean, this one's got to have a varnish coat over, so that'll dull down stuff, but they do shine up that slightly bit better. But yeah, you know, if you're happy enough to either do the lots of different, I usually put four colours of paint on the palette, and then I mix, you know, and I just go. I paint one block at a time, and I start with different colours, so they don't always, because you get muscle memory too much then, and you end up putting them all exactly the same. But yeah, I'd say go for it. You know, yes, I haven't gamed any of these yet, but it gets a bit laborious if you're doing my method. You know, dotting each little, because they're all like little 10-pin bowling things, but minute. And I even put I didn't on this one, but on this one, you can't really see. So why I did it, I don't know, because it's not like you're going to be seeing them like that. You'll be looking straight down on them, but on the front ranks of them all, I dotted the sunny skin tone to give them all little, you know, flesh faces. So, but that's nothing after doing all those dots and the shields and everything. It really isn't anything. And as I say, with your Romans, you know, you're doing you know, you can just do them all silver, let's face it, if you don't want to put any brass in there amongst them as well. And you can do maybe all red shields if you're doing the legionaries, like my favourite legion, the one and only 20th Valeria Victrix, which was stationed in Britain for a long time, and fought at Watling Street. And you could have, say, 20th, you know, with red, another legion with blue, you know. Then you've got your auxiliaries as well, the auxiliary cohorts. Or you could just paint everything with red shields, because nobody has really that much of an idea what the shield colours really were. So, and at this scale, does it really matter? So and again, these they sell the little round houses, which are better than mine, and the villas and stuff like that, and little Roman towns and settlements. And I probably would go for that. It was just a spur of the moment. I thought, well, I'll have a go at making my own, just see how hard it is. And it's not hard, as I say. We got some little guys as fuse, which is not fuse wire, solder wire. In fact, it is this one here, because it's permanently on my little shelf thing there. That's what they're made out of, the sheep and the little blokes. I just nip a bit off. Put a dab of super glue. If you're doing a little figure, put a dab of super glue on the base first, and then stick him into it, and then put a bit more. I usually just gently coat it. We're using a bit of wire, copper wire or something, and just gently coat it in more fairly runny super glue, and that'll anchor it down more, and it'll just give you a base to, you know, for your paint to stick, rather than trying to. I mean, obviously, if you're going to do it, if you've already stuck them down before you do any priming, you're fine. But I stuck them down as an afterthought, really. So there you go. Hope you're all well. Thanks for all the kind words and comments as always, and the thumbs ups and stuff. Very much appreciated. And we'll catch each other very soon on another video. Cheers.